Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Rollin Heavy. I am your head chef, Big D, joined as always by the notorious BOF, the sous
Yeet.
chef of the kitchen. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm too soups. So I am.
You've been waiting all week to pull that one out.
Honestly, I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I'm the sous chef, so I'm too sous, my friend.
I got it. I got it.
You can't see me because I'm not on camera, but I even did the wolf with my hands. So
I mean, you got to. You got to.
I got it. Actually, I think I should do. Maybe I'll do that, like that eating thing, that cereal thing that all the athletes
Oh
do.
yeah.
That's it. Too soon. That's my thing. I can't
like
do the
it.
wolf pack. I can't do the wolf pack sign, but I'll do the eating cereal thing or whatever that is.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. So, in order to get these references, you need to have watched listened to the last show. I am the head chef. I am the head of the buffet line. The BOF here is the sous chef. He is my right hand, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you wonderful people, all of you millions
And
and
million.
millions out there listening are the buffet line for what is the buffet of Rollin Heavy.
And shout out to the newest member of the buffet line, Amber. Been talking to you a little bit today. Welcome. You're new. You're head of the buffet right now. Head of the buffet line.
Welcome, Amber, to the buffet line. Please know that after you eat 5 plates, you're going to regret your decisions, but no, you're going to come back for more.
And just so you know, everything is made. It's peanut free, um, so you should be safe. No peanut, so no peanut oil, no peanut anything. Everything is peanut free.
You're welcome.
So dive in.
All right, tonight, our topic, we are talking early SummerSlam predictions. I don't want to say way too early because it's only about a month and a half away, but there's still plenty of things that can happen that we want to have happen. So what we're going to walk you through tonight is kind of what do we expect to happen between now and SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Clash of the Castle is next Saturday. We're definitely going to have some predictions for that, for at least the announced card so far.
Yep.
SmackDown is on as we speak, so guarantee there's going to be some more stuff that pop up with that. But we'll go through Clash, we'll go through Money in the Bank, we're going to go through SummerSlam. Where do we want to have happen? Where's the storylines? And I've been told by BOF here that we've got a journey to take, and he's gonna take us on quite the journey. So I'm excited for this one.
I hope you brought a to-go bag while you're standing in the buffet line because you're gonna need it.
All right, so let's start out with Clash, and what do we expect? At least for the announced match card right now, the only announced matches are 3. We've got Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the IC Championship. We've got Bayley versus Piper Niven for the women's title, and we have Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Heavyweight title. So why don't you get us started off with the IC champ, Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable? What do you got for us on this one?
All right, buckle up. Here we go.
I'm buckled up.
So for Clash, I am seeing Chad beat Sami Zayn in this match, and not clean. I
Okay.
see some, I see some interference from Otis, where Otis was trying to help Sammy and he missed, much like he did when he was trying to help Chad at King of the Ring.
Yeah.
I see him trying to help Sammy and missing and hitting him instead of Chad.
Gotcha.
And I think that's really not the last kind of little breeze that knocks down the house of cards that is the Alpha Academy, but I think that Otis really gets put in his place, and I think Chad just kind of treats him, than a bigger piece of shit that he's already treating him. But that leads into Money in the Bank. I see Otis at Money in the Bank, winning Money in the Bank,
Okay.
and because he's done it before, but greasy fingers Otis because he's got 6 plates at the buffet line, not just 5.
That's true. And by the way, Otis, if you ever hear this, you have an open invitation to the show to be in the buffet line, so you are always welcome here.
Always welcome, my friend. All time, all day, every day. Well, you know what? We'll fire up the grill just for you. Um, so I see Otis. Obviously, I don't see that. And then Otis wins Money in the Bank. He holds on to it tight, and instead of him cashing in on like the undisputed title or the heavyweight title, I see him cashing in on the IC title.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you can use it for any title you want, I suppose.
Yeah, I see him cashing in on the IC title and taking Chad Gable out.
Okay.
And just rubbing it in his face. Or on the flip side, I can see him maybe trying to cash it in on the undisputed or the heavyweight championship, but the way that those kind of environments are right now, it just doesn't in like a 3-month time period, I can't see them making that make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is Otis winning the cash in the money bank, and being the first one to really cash in on the IC title.
Okay.
Because he really just wants to rub it in Chad's. And he wants one-on-one with Chad. And it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I get your thought process on this one. I have a similar story, but not quite the same. So
it's wrong. But go ahead, let's hear what you have to say.
I just want to hear yes, chef. All right.
Sorry, yes, chef.
So I see Sammy beating Chad for the IC title with Otis interference. But Otis intentionally goes after Chad. Like, he's had enough. I'm assuming something else is going to happen on Raw on Monday, and it's just going to push that storyline even further. So Otis is going to finally snap. He's going to go off on Chad. Chad's going to catch a kick by Sammy and lose. At Money in the Bank, you're going to have Chad versus Otis for control of the Alpha Academy.
Mm-hmm.
That match is going to go down. I hope Otis would win a match like that. But Sami Zayn also is involved because he's involved with both of these guys.
Yeah.
I see Sammy interfering, allowing Otis to win, setting up at SummerSlam a triple threat between Sammy, Otis, and Chad.
Yeah, I was going to say, on your storyline, it sounds like it ends up in a triple threat.
Yes. Which I know is how the last IC title match went, but that's kind of how they're playing it again.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of you need something to shine that turd.
Yeah, and Otis in that situation makes way more sense than Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think too, like, I think before WrestleMania, I think Otis has some type of gold around his waist. Either it be the IC title, or maybe him and what's that skinny Asian guy in? I can't remember his name. Tozawa. Maybe him and Tozawa, they win the a tag team title.
Yeah, I mean, they could take it off of Awesome Truth, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I think that me as a fan, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, we want less Alpha Academy and more Otis.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think the fans from the live shows would agree with that too. The reactions to whatever Otis is doing. Like, everybody hates Chad. Like, Chad's playing an excellent heel right now. Sammy is trying to play a face, but I mean, he is a face, but I don't buy it. Everybody's cheering for Otis. Sammy's getting over so well as a face because he's in Otis's corner.
Yep, for sure. And really, Chad is just what Kurt Angle was when he first came into the WWE. Let's be honest.
But he's not as good.
No, he's not as good.
But he's doing well.
He's playing the angle is what he's doing. Just not as good. He's not because he can't use the I'm an Olympic champion because he's not. He's an Olympian. But he's not an Olympic. He didn't win gold or anything.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So he can't go that route. He can't do I'm better than you. It's true because he's not. I mean, he's very talented and he's very good technically, but so like I always kind of refer. He's the Wish version. He's the Wish version of Kurt Angle.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
but he is embracing the heel role very, very well.
Well, yeah, and I think that fits probably his personality a little bit more, better than when he was trying to be, when he was trying to be Mick and train Sammy.
Yeah.
Like that just didn't really buy it.
It was a good heel turn for him for sure.
Yeah, it was a tough sell. It was a tough sell to think that, he's this good guy just doing something out of the kindness of his heart for Sami Zayn, and and honestly, I think the Sami title run has kind of run its course for me. I'm ready for someone else to kind of be in there.
Yeah, I mean, after the whole Jey Uso Gunter thing and the bloodline interference with that, it's Gunter lost at WrestleMania to set him up for a bigger title run, which is exactly what happened at King of the Ring.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll get into this a little bit more a little bit later.
Yeah,
and Sammy's just kind of the interim champ until they can build a bigger storyline, and I think it's Chad and Otis. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, he's the place Carter champ right here, the place holder champ right now, and he's very good, and people love him.
Yeah,
but this is my soap opera. Like, if this was a book, I'd put it down. Like, I'm maybe done with this book.
Well, that's why he's the IC champ and not the heavyweight champ.
Yeah, like the story's it's getting a little stale. We need to kick it up, and that's where Otis stepping up to Chad and maybe even stepping up to Sammy.
Yeah.
Like Sammy Otis being like, you don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. This is me, and I'm going to do Otis is going to do what Otis wants to do.
Exactly.
And
I'm going to eat at the buffet and caterpillar on my way back to the table.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to tell me I can't.
Yeah, this is me. Like that's So and that's a good turn right there, and that's. Maybe a heel turn for Otis. Maybe he's not so liked because he's turning on Sammy as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible.
But maybe he's not, because he's finally standing up for himself, and he's even standing up for people that are that are good, are have good intentions, but are not actually asking Otis what Otis wants.
Yeah, for sure.
They're telling him this is what is good for you. They're not what is good for you. And so, again, I mean, I think that dude is holding on by it. That dude's a time bomb, and he's just gonna explode, and he's gonna go off.
Yeah. So I think our prediction for Otis is the same. By SummerSlam, by the end of SummerSlam, Otis is going to be a champ of some sort.
Maybe not by WrestleMania for sure. I don't know if it's going to happen at SummerSlam, but I think definitely before WrestleMania, he's got some type of gold around his waist. I want it to happen at SummerSlam, but I think for sure. And maybe that's what happens at SummerSlam. Maybe he cashes in at SummerSlam. Maybe Sammy and Chad have a rematch at SummerSlam, and he cashes in on Chad at SummerSlam.
Yeah, maybe.
Takes the IC and takes the IC title from him. And that would be from nobody's like, what the hell is Otis doing? Because that is such an Otis move to cash in on the IC title.
Yeah, it is for sure.
That would be such a good Otis move right there to cash in on the IC title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I think we're pretty close to. I mean, yours is still not as right as mine, but we're close. Sorry, Chef.
You better be. Acknowledge me.
Yes,
So, either way, we've got big things happening for Otis. Into SummerSlam, after SummerSlam, into WrestleMania. I definitely think by the end of the year, Otis has got some sort of title. I hope he has some sort of title.
In my heart, I hope he does.
Yes. I hope he gets away from Chad. I hope he gets away from Sammy. And, like, even if it's still the Alpha Academy with Maxine and Tozawa, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But let Otis be Otis.
Yeah. Let them all. And I think that's, let them all be like them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But, yeah. And then Chad is kind of this, run and gun, going rogue dude that, as he comes out, they say you suck to him.
Oh yeah, they
Of course, his music doesn't fit Angle's music fit.
was perfect.
Suck,
oh yeah,
yeah. So we got to change his music up a little bit, but if the WWE universe is good at anything, it's good at creating a pretty lousy chant for someone they really dislike. So
yes, that's very true.
So we'll come up with something for that guy.
By WrestleMania, I'd love to see Chad versus Kurt.
You think?
Give me a Chad versus Kurt. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it would be awesome.
No, God, Kurt's pretty. I mean, I think the best years are way behind.
I do too, but I think he could still put out a decent match. Is he going to do a moonsault? Probably not, but
I think he could still. I think if he trained enough for it. And here's the thing, if you haven't watched the Angle documentary, watch it. The way that dude works out when he's getting ready for something is out of this world. Like, I don't know how a human can survive what that dude puts himself through. Like, it's torture. Like, this is what, like, they would give to, prisoners of war. Like, it is torture. And the dude is just, that's how you get to be a gold medalist, though, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't win an Olympic gold medal for nothing.
For
not working hard.
He didn't wake up and I think I'll just go win a gold medal today. Like,
yeah, it doesn't work that way.
I think if it was in the plan and he signed off on it, I think for one match, I think we would see Prime Angle for sure.
Yeah, there's not a long-term story where he's doing all these kind of things, but one match I think he's got, and it would be a fantastic match.
Yeah, he's the end boss for that storyline.
Yes.
As long as they don't do this stupid-ass end boss thing, then.
No, God, don't. Please don't do that.
Yeah, that's the worst idea ever.
All right, so let's move on to our next clash. We've got Bayley versus Piper.
Bayley versus Piper. So this is where it gets a little wonky. I have a couple of different scenarios here. So at Clash, I just see Bayley winning.
Yep.
There's no real changes there. I see Bayley winning at Clash. Maybe Chelsea Green gets a little involved. Maybe Naomi gets involved. But I see them maybe like distracting them, and then someone's gonna hit something, and then someone's gonna kick out, and then the other person's gonna hit something and kick out, kick out, kick out, blah blah blah. Final win, right?
Yep.
Like that's all I see really happening. I see it winning by pinfall for sure, but then I see Tiffany Stratton winning the women's Money in the Bank,
Okay.
and then at SummerSlam, Nia Jax has a shot at Bayley. I see Nia Jax winning at SummerSlam, and then Tiffany Stratton coming in and cashing out at SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But I also see Nia winning at SummerSlam, and then Jade Cargill winning Money in the Bank, and then cashing in at SummerSlam to take out Nia Jax.
So I don't. This is my ignorance. I am not super familiar with Money in the Bank. Can you cash it in on any title, or does it have to or is there maybe like an unwritten rule where it has to be on your brand? Because she would have to cash in against Liv, I would think.
I thought she's on SmackDown, or did they get drafted to Raw just recently? They're on SmackDown, aren't they?
No, her and Bianca are Raw tag team champs.
Well, that actually works even better. That goes into my secret one. Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason I thought they were on SmackDown. So, with this one then, it's Bayley at Clash, Nia at SummerSlam but in the meantime Tiffany Stratton wins Money in the Bank.
Okay, and then Tiffany cashes in on Nia at SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah, I can see something like that happening. I think it's very plausible that Tiffany Stratton wins. I think it's very plausible that a women's superstar from SmackDown wins Money in the Bank. That brand in the women's division definitely needs the most help pushing storylines and everything along, because right now the women's division on SmackDown is just kind of meh. Nia Jax is playing a pretty good heel, and everybody just wants a piece of Nia, and Nia just doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
She's got that big boss energy going with her. But yeah, I see similar things happening just without the Money in the Bank cash in. I think that's going to happen later, maybe at whatever's after SummerSlam. I can't remember. There's too many of these events these days.
Is it Rumble after SummerSlam, or is there like a?
I think there's one more.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, and I see it happening there between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. I don't think there's enough time to develop Nia as a champ.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if that needs to. If she, like, you don't need to develop her as a champ. You need to develop her as a heel, and she's already developed as a heel, right? And actually, if it was Tiffany Stratton, I'm going to change my. I think Bayley wins at SummerSlam, and Tiffany Stratton cashes in on Bayley.
Okay.
Because really the heel thing, no one really cares about a heel. But if Bayley goes wire to wire with Nia and beats Nia, and then Tiffany Stratton comes out and cashes in on Bayley, that's gonna break everybody's heart for Bayley, and it's and then we're gonna have Tiffy time and be annoyed and frustrated that she's got the belt around her waist, and we are looking at her every Friday until the next premiere event. So that's my new prediction.
That's your official prediction.
Official. Stamp it.
Writing it down. I'm double stamping it.
Yep.
I can't triple stamp it because you can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Well, you should have triple stamped it first. God, well, Lloyd.
It's already double stamped. So I have Nia winning.
Thanks, Chef.
Yeah, I have Nia winning. I could see Piper winning on next Saturday because it is in Scotland. She is Scottish, and giving her the hometown kind of win. I don't think people care too much about Bayley right now. I mean, when she comes out and does anything, the crowd doesn't go crazy. They're like, "Hey, cool Bayley," and we cheer for her when she's against a heel.
Yeah,
But
but I think people like for what they don't feel about Bailey, they feel less about Piper.
I
Even if Piper's at home, I don't.
I agree, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I don't expect it to. My official pick is that Bayley wins and ends up losing to Nia at SummerSlam. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Piper wins, and if she does win, it's going to be because of some sort of interference from Chelsea.
yeah.
I hope
Well,
that doesn't happen. I hope it's Bayley and Nia going in because I think that would be a much better match than Piper versus Nia.
Yeah, I don't see Piper and Nia putting together a good match. I don't see it. That's a lot of running into each other, and that's it. That's like it's two pools in a china shop.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not that's two,
it's
two
not. It's
power
not. It wouldn't be a compelling. It wouldn't be a compelling matchup.
two yeah. If you put two powerhouses together, that's like having two Andre Giants fight each other.
I was gonna say.
That's
I was thinking you're gonna have Andre fight the great Khali.
that's not an exciting match because they can't. All they can do is pick each other up and slam them. That's not a good match. That's just not. That's a boring match to watch.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
I agree. So that's why it's like I think they make a show of it. I think they give Piper a good show at home, but I don't think she wins the title.
Yeah.
All right, so officially you have Bayley beating Nia at SummerSlam, but Tiffany Stratton cashing in on Bayley.
Yes.
All right, I've got Bayley just straight up losing to Nia. I say no Money in the Bank cash in at SummerSlam.
I'm cashing in on cash-ins for my SummerSlam predictions.
All right,
I've already got Otis doing one if he wins for an IC title, doing a very Otis move. I've got the cash in for for the Bailey thing.
Yep.
It's because typically a lot of times the women cash in quicker than the men do.
Typically, yeah.
So, if Bailey's and let's be honest, Bailey is not going to be 100% after in a match with Nia.
No.
Like, so if she does pull it off at SummerSlam, she's going to be in pretty bad shape, and that's Tiffany Stratton's window of opportunity right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's 100% possible.
Yeah. So I got Bailey all the way through SummerSlam. Tiffany Stratton cashing in with Money in the Bank.
Triple stamp it. Got it.
Triple.
Take that one to the buffet.
Take it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next match that's been announced as far as Clash goes, we got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Why don't you go your route and then I'll go my route?
Okay. I think Damian Priest wins this one. I think this is where we see CM Punk return to a live event, and he doesn't necessarily do anything. He's just there, and he gets in Drew's head, and he throws Drew off his game. And it's at a pivotal point where Drew's going to hit a Claymore or something, and Damian's going to kick out because that's what happens all the time. There's no finishers in this game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Punk's going to show up, and Damian's going to come back and either roll him up or he's going to kick him and then hit him with a South of Heaven chokeslam and win the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to get another month of promos of Drew blaming CM Punk about oh, you cost me my shot. This was your fault. Blah blah blah. Not going to take responsibility for his own actions again.
Yep, I see. Uh-huh.
Setting up a match finally between Punk and Drew at SummerSlam.
Got ya.
Which, surprisingly enough, I'm picking Drew to win.
Drew versus CM Punk?
Yep. Drew beats Punk at SummerSlam.
Wow, that's a bold statement, my friend.
I know, but I think Drew beats CM Punk at SummerSlam.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, Damian Priest wins. There's some Judgment Day, I don't want to say interference, but presence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not 100% clean on his part either, and it kind of pisses him off. Because since he's been champion, he's like, I can handle my own business.
Yeah.
Like, don't get involved in my shit. I can handle my business. You handle your business.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I also see, I'm gonna call it right now. Mommy comes back at Clash, and kind of puts an end to the whole Dom Liv Morgan thing, setting those two up at Money in the Bank, where
Liv and Rhea?
Yeah, Liv and Rhea, where Rhea puts on a show, but there's still some injury things, and Liv wins again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's got, who do we got? Who did I have at Liv SummerSlam? Becky comes back, and then it sets up the three-way between Liv, Rhea, and Becky. And I have Rhea winning the women's title back at SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam.
Yes.
Okay. I can see that.
Meanwhile, for the whole Damian Priest thing, sometime between Clash and SummerSlam, Gunther and Randy Orton are going to have a rematch because the King of the Ring win wasn't clean.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a final match to kind of settle the score.
Yeah.
Gunther wins this time again, clean.
Yep.
Again, setting up his push to SummerSlam, where Gunther beats Damian Priest for the heavyweight title.
Okay. We're in the same ballpark. We're in the same ballpark on predictions.
Okay. But somewhere in here, the Judgment Day falls apart. And it falls apart, and you end up with just Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
How that happens, I don't know.
But it should be.
Yeah, but they separate themselves from Carlito, Dom, and JD, which sucks for JD because he's just kind of along for the ride, but he doesn't really add anything.
No, he's supporting cast. Like, he's the guy. Honestly, even Carlito to a certain extent are the guys that go out there. They're the Three Stooges. That's who they are.
Yeah. Oh, yes, for sure.
Like, they're the ones that go out there and they try to help, but they screw something up. And then the person that's supposed to win loses because they're out there dinking around screwing things up.
Yep. But whenever he's asked Finn to take care of business, Finn takes care of business.
Yeah.
He respects Finn. Finn respects Damian. They both respect Rhea. Rhea respects them. I hope to see a split in the Judgment Day somewhere in there, maybe at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, you can see that rift starting to form.
Yes.
Yeah. The line is in the sand, and you can see on each side of the line where people are standing, and it's exactly what you said. Damian, Rhea, Finn, one side. Disgusting Dom, JD, Carlito on the other side.
Yep. And then there doesn't need to be a title in there. That can be its own standalone thing.
Yeah.
I think it helps keep Priest away from being a heel because he's a heel right now because he's part of the Judgment Day, but he's not because people just like Damian. I like Damian Priest. I don't think he's a heel, but he's pushed as kind of a heel.
Well, and I think if you kind of look at the WWE environment right now, there's very they're going away from the pure heel, pure face type of thing, right? You don't have a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior
Right, right.
right? Or I guess you can call Andre the Giant a heel at one point in time. There's no true heel and there's no true face. Um, they're kind of morphing everybody into this kind of hybrid. You know, they're a little heel, they're a little face. They're a little bit Alexis if you have watched if you
Yes,
watch it. Yeah,
I know.
Everybody's just a little bit Alexis, and so and I think as I was talking to our new member of the buffet line earlier, um, that adds a little bit more. That opens up a lot more avenues of where things can go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I call it the Barney era anyway, because everybody loves everybody right now, and you know, with and that's kind of how you get, I'm not a true heel, but I'm not a true face type of thing. So,
Right.
you
When we
like me?
first started watching, you were like, "Is this like the era of best friends?"
It's the best friends. It's the best friend show, and I like you, and I respect you, and we're gonna have a match, and if you win, cool, but if I win, that's cool too, right, friend? Yes, friend, it is. So yeah, there's no Rock Austin anymore. I mean,
No.
come on, like, yeah, like, and I guess the only true heel right now after what SmackDown last week is AJ Styles.
I mean, I would say Liv is also a true heel.
Ah, I think
She's so good as a heel that she's face. Like she's in Flair territory right now.
she's 60-40, man. Like I really like what Liv has going on right now.
Yes, but she is 100% playing the villain role.
She is Harley Quinn to a T. She is Harley Quinn. She is that instigator. She is
She
that catalyst to being like, "Oops, sorry, but now it's your problem. Bye."
Yeah, see, there's two types of heels. There's a heels you love to hate, and there's heels you hate to love. Um,
Yes.
and she's the one that you hate to love. It's like you're doing some bad shit, but I can't hate you for it. I
No,
really like
it's
what you're doing right now.
no, it's like, you know what? I kind of want to see you every week. I kind of want to see what, and especially because she's doing against the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, outside of Damien, Finn, and Rhea, like I want her, I want Rhea to come back, and I want her to just toss Dom across the ring.
I think everybody would.
Yeah, like,
That would be the biggest return for forever.
yep.
Because everybody hates Dom. I don't know if you caught the promo on Monday, but
Oh yeah,
when he was trying to talk to Liv, he got booed so hard nobody would let him even talk.
yep, yep,
So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Um,
yeah.
but for me, Drew loses to Priest and then beats CM Punk at SummerSlam. Priest beats Drew, loses to Gunther at SummerSlam. What do you got? What do you got for this one?
I have a little bit different play on this.
Okay.
I have Drew winning at Clash.
Okay.
With I have Drew winning at Clash. CM Punk comes back. He doesn't interfere in the match because he doesn't want to. He's tired of hearing the me, and you got this and blah blah blah. He wants Drew to win. What he wants Drew to win the match 100% as Drew. So I think he comes back, but not until the end of the match. And he's just maybe kind of microphone far away, being like, "Cool, buddy, now I'm gunning for you." That says something. And then I think on the men's side, I think he wins Money in the Bank.
Punk.
Punk.
Okay.
I see Punk winning Money in the Bank on the men's side, and then at SummerSlam, now it's Drew and Gunther, and I see Drew beating Gunther because I don't think Gunther's ready to take that step yet. That's a pretty big jump in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But I see Drew beating Gunther, and then shocker, cash in. I would love to see Drew get cashed in twice.
Yeah. Okay. That would definitely be some sweet revenge.
That would be such sweet. And then and then you have CM Punk, who is magic on the mic, just driving Drew crazy. And, and then you're going to get the poor me, poor me, poor me from Drew. But CM Punk's like, hey, man, told you I was coming for you.
Yeah.
I told you I was coming for you. What do you want me to do?
But you didn't beat me clean. You had to cash in. It's going to be the whole Damian Priest thing all over again.
Again, but then CM Punk can be like, you didn't see this coming? This is the second time, dude. Like, you didn't see it coming, man?
Yeah.
Like, that's on you, man. That's on you for not. Like, and I think the great thing between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam, anytime Drew makes an appearance, CM Punk can just show up with the money, with the bank, or with the case. Like, no, I don't think so.
Not today.
Not today. I don't know if you ever watched How I Met Your Mother, but there was an agreement at one point in time where Marshall was going to slap, I can't remember. What's his face? Doogie Howser.
I didn't watch the show, so I don't know.
Well, anyway, there was an agreement where Marshall was one of the friends he had an agreement where he had 5 slaps whenever he wanted to on Thanksgiving. And it didn't have to be on a single Thanksgiving. It was 5 slaps on any Thanksgiving that they were together. Okay. And that's what can happen with this. CM Punk can just show up and be like, no. No. Anytime, any place where Drew is around.
Just play that head game.
Which CM Punk is super good at.
And he would do very well.
And Money in the Bank, and then SummerSlam, Drew beats Gunther and shows up and cashes in. And at that point, Drew was like, okay, yeah, you're going to cash in. Oh, shit, he's cashing in.
Oh, yeah, this is real.
Oh, he's cashing in. Damn it. And now he lost my title again. And maybe he holds it for 15 minutes this time, but he loses it.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I think, some definite plausibility to that for sure.
Yeah. But, and then when you were talking, you mentioned, and this is, so that's my pick for that, for that title.
All right.
Drew
wins. CM Punk takes Money in the Bank. Drew beats Gunther at SummerSlam, but CM Punk cashes in at SummerSlam to take the title from Drew.
Yep. Yes, for sure.
Solid choice.
Then I see kind of an unannouncement, kind of what because you brought up the Liv, Becky, Rhea, triple threat match.
Yep.
I can see that happening at SummerSlam as well. I originally thought maybe Rhea comes back and wins the Money in the Bank, but Rhea doesn't need to win the Money in the Bank.
No, she doesn't need to win Money in the Bank.
Like someone that needs a title shot, like that isn't going to get a legitimate title shot, needs Money in the Bank. But Mommy's going to get a title shot when she comes back.
Yes.
And I think she comes back. She's got a ton of beef with Liv. She's got a ton of beef with Becky because Becky's the one that took the title from her. Well, essentially Becky took her title through, the Rumble match or whatever they had.
Yeah.
Right? And so Rhea's coming back for blood, and it doesn't matter who is going to be there. And maybe her total focus isn't on Becky now because Becky doesn't have the title, but Liv does have the title, and Liv has been doing stuff with Dom.
Well, and Liv's the one that
Uh,
hurt her.
yeah, Liv's the one that hurt her for the vengeance tour or
That was
whatever.
the start of the revenge tour.
Yeah, and so Rhea's totally focused on Liv, but Becky's like, "Hey, I've been robbed from this thing twice now because of her." And so
Yep.
I think they all three start mixing it up, and then um, so I think they're like, "Well, okay, let's all three of you for the title at SummerSlam." But at that point, we've seen a little more, maybe not ringside, behind the scenes stuff between Dom and Liv.
Okay.
I think because the way that Dom, I mean, and maybe he's just doing this because he's not very good at, you know, playing the character,
Yeah.
but Dom isn't hating it. Finn Balor is the one that's backing Liz away. Dom isn't backing Liz away from him. Finn's backing Liz away from Dom.
Oh yeah. Like Dom seems kind of into it.
Dom is like, I maybe kind of want this, which I don't know why anybody would, but hey, but I Liv knows that's a great way to get into Rhea's head while she's not there, and I think somehow, some way, Liv gets into Dom's head that she's the one that he should stand beside.
Mm-hmm.
And then SummerSlam comes up. They have their match. Liv wins that match, and getting Dom essentially setting in motion Dom being exiled from the Judgment Day.
Yes. And as soon as that happens, Liv drops him.
Oh yeah, because that was the whole point for
Yeah.
this whole thing.
She wants nothing to do with him, but she just wants to
No,
pull him away from Rhea and just take everything away from her.
no, she's playing the long. We can see, she's playing the long. Yeah, it's obvious she's playing the long game
Yeah.
with Dom right now. Like she's playing the long game. That's why she stopped Braun Strowman, right? She's playing the long game. She's like, I'm on your side, and I look, I can protect you, and I can be your new mommy, type of thing,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once Liv beats Rhea, all right, in pure Liv fashion, okay, they're mad at you, not my problem.
Yep. I'm out.
Peace out. Hey, you played your role.
All right. I like it. I think everything is plausible at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what else you got for us? So those are the three matches that have been announced for Clash. So what do you got for us on the rest of your journey here?
That's that the Liv Becky Rhea was kind of that was my last thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it has, I mean, because you kind of saw it too. It hasn't been announced, but it definitely fits in to have that match happen.
Yes.
The triple threat at SummerSlam. I mean, that's the match of the night at this point in time. That's match of the night at SummerSlam. If it happens.
If it happens.
That's a 5-plate match right there.
Yeah, that I mean that one would be there. Yeah, so much emotion and everything wrapped up onto that.
Uh-huh.
And they're all great in the ring, so
Yep.
it
And
would be a banger of a match.
And I think in that situation though, Becky is the Bronson Reed in that match.
Yeah, a little bit. I think so.
Yeah. She's there just to make it a triple threat so that Dom can interfere without getting Liv DQ'd. I mean, which she'll still win the match regardless,
Yeah.
but it winning the match by a DQ as opposed to submission or pinfall, I mean, doesn't have as much of a doesn't carry as much weight,
Yeah.
So, I think that's as much as I like Becky, I think that's her role in that kind of little triangle.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So I've,
And
I've
then Cargill comes out and cashes in, and she beats Liv. No, just kidding.
um, so for some other SummerSlam things I've got, I think AJ Cody happens at SummerSlam, not at Money in the Bank or Clash.
It's for sure not happening at Clash, but
So
yeah,
that happens at SummerSlam, and Cody puts AJ down again, um, and basically tells him like it, this isn't happening again. This is your last chance. You're not getting another shot, and he beats him again.
yeah, I can see that.
Um, like I don't know what they're trying to pull with AJ on this, but I think this is what goes down. This is Cody's next big match. It's the rematch from King of the Ring.
Well, Cody needs something.
Yeah, like he needs a story, and this is the story right now.
Yeah, like
AJ's running out of time, and he knew he was. Nick Aldis told him, you're at the back of the line. I can't just give you another title shot, so he basically went out and made his own title shot.
Yeah, so it's either that or maybe he wins Money in the Bank, and the whole CM Punk Drew takes a different route.
Now, I think they just straight build on this. Cody's too big for him to lose to a Money in the Bank thing, or for there to be a Money in the Bank storyline. Unless it's I'm going to cash this in for a shot at Cody, and like it's just a legit match. It's not I'm going to cash this in when you're hurt type deal.
Yeah, no, I can see. Well, and they've already set out the precedent that Cody's a fighting champion.
And he has been. Like he's defended the title a bunch. He's been at all of the live events.
And I think that maybe Cody is like, you know what? Let's give him a shot.
And he didn't beat AJ at King of the Ring. He beat him at the other one. Because Cody fought Logan Paul at King of the Ring.
He beat him at Backlash.
Yeah, it's Backlash. That's the one. So I think they just build that up to SummerSlam. So they do that over the next month and a half.
Yeah.
Up until we hit SummerSlam, and then they have, they're the main event of the night is Cody versus AJ, and
AJ style.
And it'll be another banger of a match. Like the one at Backlash was awesome. Like it was a great match.
Yeah.
I thought Cody versus Logan Paul at King of the Ring was better, but it was a good match. I think they put on another good match. Ideally, I would like to see more of a Cody Logan storyline. As much as I want to hate Logan, he's a good heel. He's a really good heel.
I think the storyline the storyline that has to happen before we can get Cody Logan version 2, we need LA Knight, Jey Uso, Logan Paul version 1.
Yeah, so Which
I think that'll happen I think that happens at SummerSlam.
Yes, this is what happens at SummerSlam. Like I think LA Knight beats Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
1-on-1 and not a triple threat with Jey Uso?
No, because that would be 3 triple threats at SummerSlam, and I think that's too many.
You can never have too many triple threats.
I think it's LA Knight versus Logan Paul, and LA Knight beats Logan Paul, and then the next Friday at SmackDown, Logan Paul cuts a promo. It's just like, hey, this is a wake-up call. I can't just do this part-time. He's like, I'm dedicating myself full-time. I'm going to be fighting here. I'm going to be here every week. And
I'm not
basically I'm not used to losing. I'm not used to being on this end. I don't like it. And then
has he lost yet in the WWE?
I'm sure he's lost a match here or there. Not that I've seen since I've been watching, but I'm sure he has.
Like a singles match. I know he hasn't won every match that he's in, but I haven't seen him lose a singles match, but he doesn't have that many singles matches. Let's
Right,
be
like
honest.
he doesn't wrestle that much.
No.
Um, and then he sets his sights on Cody, and then that's the big build up, and that's the next storyline for Cody is Cody versus Logan.
Yeah, I can see that. Because that honestly, that's the best of that roster. That makes the most sense. That's the story that's going to stick to the wall the most.
Yep.
Because as much as what AJ Style is, what he isn't is a good promo guy.
No, he's not.
He's not a guy. He's not a guy that's gonna captivate you and really, you know, make you want to turn. He's not a cover to cover guy. He's not. I just got to read this story. I'm I'm binging this story tonight. This is my weekend. Is this book, and that's not an AJ Style thing. Like he's a quick hit guy. And when I can see Logan Paul ending the story for Cody Rhodes.
I could, and I could see that being a back and forth, and maybe all the way up until Mania.
Because what you can't have, and I don't know if it's just been a conversation that we've had off air or if it's something I've mentioned here before. You don't have long face reigns. You just don't. They get boring. It's the same thing over and over and over again. If the face doesn't have a mountain to climb, what are we rooting for? Like we don't care. Like it gets old. That's why heels have longer title reigns. Is because you hate that dude and he's got that title and you really want that guy to take that thing from him. But, you know, they follow the Eddie Guerrero, mantra, lie, cheat, and steal. And they just kind of twist that knife a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And then, you know, 3,800 and something days later, they finally win the match. And they knock that dude off the throne. And it's amazing. But then 3 months into their title reign, you're like, all right, cool. Cool, man. Yeah, awesome. Heard that before. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing Cody losing anytime soon.
And
He is the biggest thing in WWE right now. He is the face of faces, and once he starts, I think, getting played a little bit, then then I can see him losing. But I mean, the dude's on fire right now. I don't see him losing. People want to see him as a champion. He's been a great champion. He's been at every event. He's been defending the title. So he's been doing the work. And
he has.
I don't see him losing probably until, like, if he's going to lose anywhere, it would be until Mania next year.
You don't, and here's the thing: you don't want to wait for him to lose when he's run his course. You want him to lose when you think he's at his peak.
Right, and he's just climbing the mountain right now. Like, I don't think he's peaked, and I don't think he's close to the peak of his popularity yet.
I think he's close.
I don't. I think like his story just started in April. Like
I want to
Mania
see.
feels like it was forever ago, but it was only 2 months ago. Like he's gonna have a reign longer than 4 months.
I want to see what happens with the AJ Styles thing. Like, I need more from the American Nightmare. I need more from the American Nightmare. I don't. You know what? Show up in your suit and ask us what we want to talk about. I need something. I need something more from you. Like the emotion that you showed at King of the Ring with Logan Paul being, I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch. I want more. I want more. I don't want friendly Cody Rhodes. I want an angry Cody Rhodes out there. Like
Yeah, well,
what you did was pretty effed up, dude. And you know what? Do you know who I am? Like, I'm your champion, and you don't do that. And I want a little. I want a Cody Rhodes. I want the American Nightmare to be the American Nightmare. Get an attitude, man.
yeah, well, I mean, he got one. Like he was a lot edgier with Logan Paul. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you watched the promo before where Logan was like, "Oh, I didn't agree to put up my title and all of this."
Yep.
And the for the most part that bit was kind of cheesy, but at the end where Cody just took over on the mic and cut the end of that promo, like that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like there
That's
was
the
a
Cody
lot of
that I
pet,
want.
like, and I think he has and he's just building on that. And then like they had that such good chemistry in the ring where Logan Paul at the beginning where he blocks the 24 karat punch and was like, "I'm Logan Paul, bitch." And then at the very end where Cody catches the Nux and was like, "I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch," and then proceeds to crossroads him 3 times. Like it was great. Like
Yeah.
whoever put that match together was fantastic. Those two played it well. Like I said, it's my match of the year so far. As far as like an in-ring kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I think he's just building on that and building up to I'm finishing my story, all of that. You got a little bit of that edge, but I think we're gonna see, with what Logan does, or not Logan, with what AJ did last Friday. I guarantee you, Cody comes out and cuts another promo like that tonight on SmackDown. And I think we're just starting to see that rise of, Cody Rhodes, like, I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch. Like, don't you know who I am? Like, respect me.
Yeah.
Like Roman Reigns was like, acknowledge me. Like it's kind of the Cody Rhodes version of that. Like I'm the champion, I'm your champion, and and it's like I'm not. I was like I'm inevitable or whatever he said.
Yep.
And like I think he's just going to continue to build on that and build on that.
Yeah. And that's what I want to see. Like he can't be the face of faces. He needs to be that. He can still be, he can still be pure face. I don't. I Cody Rhodes as a heel just doesn't play out. Like
No,
he's not heel material. But if he's a gut, and not arrogance, not like The Rock or anything like that, right? I'm talking like, you know what? Have a little bit of an attitude. Like be now. Like you're not a nightmare right now. You're kind of a unicorn and a fluffy teddy bear. Like be the nightmare, dude. Have that attitude. That be a little bit arrogant that, you know what? I'm the champion. You will respect me. You don't have to acknowledge me or whatever, but this is who I am. And you know what? You respect me.
yeah, and
Like
that's what we're seeing right now. Like that's what we're seeing out of Cody is we're out of the honeymoon phase of him finishing his story and him saying, "Oh, this was so great. I was able to do this, all that." And he's like, "No, now I'm the champion." And he's essentially like he's staking his claim at the top of the WWE mountain right now.
but we've only saw that with Logan Paul. Like up until we didn't see that with AJ Styles. He was back to the what do you want to talk about? You
Right.
know what? You're so great and you've done everything and blah blah blah. And I understand that was kind of the situation that I mean, the way that he was acting was correct, but I don't know. I have to watch SmackDown tonight to see what Cody Rhodes shows up.
Yeah.
It
That
needs to be that. It has to be the nightmare. It has to be that dude with the attitude.
and that's I think that's what we're gonna get, and that's what we're gonna get more of. Backlash was like 3 or 4 weeks after WrestleMania. Like it was still in that honeymoon phase of I finished my story, and it's just kind of this, cloud nine. I'm just happy to be the champ, and Logan was the first person that they put in front of him to really challenge him that way. And it brought out some of the stuff because leading up to Mania, like Cody cut a lot of good promos against Roman.
Yep.
And after that we didn't see a whole, it's like I finished the story and it was just kind of like, okay, we hit the crescendo of this. Now we get just pure good guy Cody, but now we're seeing that edge come back out. And I think we love it because he's truly passionate about it, and he puts off true believable emotion. And because I really feel like he feels that way, like I believe Cody when he says the things he does.
Yeah, I know. He lives and breathes wrestle like WWE. That's
Yeah.
his. I mean, that's his life. That's all he's ever known, right? Like he that is his life, and what he is saying is true. Like what like when he says this is my life, you can tell that that's not just something that he wrote down on a piece of paper. This is what I'm gonna write. No, that's what he means.
Yes, this is his life.
Yeah, this is my life. This is what I do. I'm not. This is not a hobby for me. You don't know what this. You don't know what kind of sacrifice it takes to be at this level, Logan Paul.
Yeah, so that's why I think he builds up with AJ to SummerSlam. He beats AJ again at SummerSlam. Logan Paul loses to LA Knight, and setting up an eventual rematch between Logan and Cody. With Logan going full time.
So when Roman comes back, where does Roman fit into that story? So when Roman comes back, I think Roman's probably coming back. You can't have a Rhea return and a Roman return on the same night. That's too much.
Roman's back by Money in the Bank, and there's going to be a civil war with the Bloodline.
So you think that's it? So you think he's not, when he comes back, he's not in the championship? Like he's not a contender for the championship.
Not immediately.
He's purely, you know what? This thing is. He's basically, so he's the Rhea Ripley to the Bloodline, right?
Yeah, he's got to handle business in his own house before we're worried about championships. And we know the Bloodline is, it's in Solo's hand right now, and people are in the Bloodline that Roman doesn't necessarily or wouldn't have brought into the Bloodline before. And there's going to be a civil war between Roman and possibly Jimmy.
Jimmy's out though.
For now, I mean, there's still a lot of time left.
No, but he's out of the Bloodline. Like Solo kicked him out. Like he's done.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Like Solo's not the head of the table. Roman is.
So when Roman comes back, does he come back with Jimmy and the wise man says that's hey, because the wise man just kind of hangs his hat with where he knows it's going to be, like on his paycheck, let's say, the guy that's going to. So when Roman comes back, Roman, the wise man is hitching his wagon to Roman Reigns, wherever Roman Reigns is, So Roman comes back, Jimmy comes back, wise man follows, hitches his wagon to Roman Reigns, which is the smart move. And then there's the civil war between them. And then do they reunite with Jay? And then you have a 6-man match.
I think it's possible. I think we have some sort of civil war over with the Bloodline at SummerSlam. Whether it's solely Roman versus Solo, or whether it's Roman and the Usos versus Solo and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. I personally would like to see just Solo versus Roman in a straight one-on-one.
I think that's what will be. That's going to be the kind of That's going to be the crescendo for that story. I think it starts as kind of like a three-way, a triple threat, not a triple threat,
6 man.
a six-man, and then I think it ends with Roman and Solo kind of duking it out.
Yeah.
But what if not Jay is the third man? It's Rikishi.
Oh God, I know you'd love to have Rikishi come back.
That's and Solo like that's my dad. Like, yep. And then
Maybe,
hey, we love to do those dad son storylines. Boom! Fits
maybe,
right into what the WWE does. Now we're not focused on Ray and Dom. Hey, it's Rikishi and Solo.
maybe Paul Heyman stays with Solo and Rikishi comes back and was with Roman and the Usos.
Uh-huh. And then he does the stink face to the wise man.
Yeah,
Says,
and then they all dance in the ring.
"I'll dance in the ring."
Except I don't
Yep.
see Roman doing that.
No. I think the only people that are going to dance is probably Rikishi and Jimmy.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fantastic time.
That's a five plater right there. That's
That
a
is
five plate moment.
Man, that's like that's 5 plates, and then I'm going to the bathroom to make room for 6.
Yeah, that's 5 plates, and that's 5 plates and 3 Sundays.
Yes, I'm taking 2 trips to the dessert bar.
Yep.
Yeah, so I
right.
have some sort of bloodline civil war happening at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And then I think that's all I've
But
got.
where does KO? But where does Kevin Owen? Where does Kevin Owen? Gosh, man, Kevin Owens fit into that story?
That
'Cause he's
finishes
kind
up
of
by Money in the Bank. Kevin is going to support Randy. I think they tie up whatever they have to tie up by Money in the Bank, Randy and Kevin, with Solo and the other 2 guys, Tamatonga and Tongaloa. I think they tie all that up by Money in the Bank. But I think by Money in the Bank, Roman has returned, and that's kind of the way that arc is going to go. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are the filler bloodline drama that they need right now until Roman comes back.
yeah. And maybe that's kind of the without Jimmy and Jay. Maybe that's kind of the Roman army, right?
Yeah,
That's the new Shield.
maybe, yeah. There's the bloodline and the Shield again.
Yeah, you got Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. It's the new Shield.
Yeah.
RKO.
I see RKO making a play against A-Town Down, and they're going to end up being tag champs.
Oh, if RKO was to fight A-Town Downtown, it would be. That's not even a match. Like, if RKO doesn't win that match, it's rigged.
Yeah, if they like I said, I don't think it necessarily happens at SummerSlam, but I think I think the fans love RKO. I think those 2 like working together.
I do too.
I see them taking the tag titles off of A-Town Down.
I can see that.
Or DIY, because I think DIY might actually beat A-Town Down at like Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I like DIY. Yeah, I'd be happy with anybody, but I'd be happy with anybody taking the titles off of them. Like, yeah,
Yeah. So
maybe I don't.
yeah, I mean we could talk about this for 5 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
What could happen? What do we want to see happen? But we don't have time for that. Do you have any other SummerSlam predictions that we haven't talked about yet?
I don't think so. I am predicted out.
No,
My pots are empty, chef.
All right, so we're ready to clean up then.
Yep. Clean up. Let's get the dishes washed. Put
All
them
right.
away.
So our recap. I'm going to try to remember. I didn't take notes tonight, so if I get something wrong, sue me. Um,
Ooh, yes, I'll Seuss you.
Sue me.
Seuss.
um, we both have Otis winning the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. You have it by him cashing in the bank or cashing money in the bank against Chad. I have him just straight up beating Chad and Sammy in a three-way. Yeah, that's. I think that was what we both predicted.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Either way, Otis comes out of SummerSlam the IC champ.
Yes, chef.
I have Nia Jax beating Bayley at SummerSlam for the women's title. You have Bayley beating Nia, but Tiffy Time cashing in on Bayley.
Yes.
I have Drew losing to Damian at Clash because of CM Punk, and then Drew beats CM Punk eventually at SummerSlam.
In a non-title match.
In a non-title match because neither of them have a title. And then I have Damian Priest losing to Gunter at SummerSlam.
Yep.
You have Drew beating Damian Priest.
Yep.
Beating Gunter at SummerSlam, but then CM Punk winning Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And taking the title from Drew at SummerSlam after he's had a long, drawn-out match with Gunter.
Yes. Because you know that's what's going to happen.
I think when Gunter wins, Gunter wins. There's this mysterious push behind Gunter that I don't understand, but he is going to be the champ come SummerSlam.
I think Gunther loses at SummerSlam, but I think he wins Royal Rumble.
That's possible.
And then he's got his then he gets kind of, his second chance at whoever's champion at that point in time at WrestleMania. And by that point, Gunther might be ready to be the champion.
Maybe.
I'm not ready for Gunther to be champion yet.
I wasn't ready for Gunter to win King of the Ring. But
I
everybody
could see
else
him
seems to be on the Gunter train. I'm not on the Gunter train.
No, I could see him winning King of the Ring, but I don't see it. I don't see him becoming champion, right? 2 months after King of the Ring. But I do see him. I mean, maybe if he was I don't know. I mean, the world works in mysterious ways, right? The wrestling gods work in mysterious ways. So maybe they give him a super push. I don't think that he's at that point where he's championship ready. Not by the WWE, universe. I think that it's going to take a little bit more. And maybe whatever happens at SummerSlam, maybe we see that. Maybe he gets whatever push he can get between now and SummerSlam, we'll decide if he wins at SummerSlam or not. But right now, I don't think he gets there.
That's fair. I mean, I think he does. I think they continue the push, and it ends up with him as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, you're wrong, Chef.
We both see some sort of bloodline drama come SummerSlam.
Yep.
What that looks like, we don't exactly know. You think possibly a three-way match between Roman and the Usos with Rikishi in their corner? Versus, Sola and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa with the Wise Man in a six-man tag match.
Yep.
I see Roman versus Solo one-on-one for basically the head of the table.
For control of the bloodline.
I think we both think there's going to be a fatal three-way between Rhea, Becky, Liv.
Yep.
Um, I think I picked Rhea to win that with
You
the,
picked Rhea.
and then you have Liv winning, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. It's too it's too predictable for Rhea to come back and just win it right away.
that's fair. And I guess it's kind of the completion of the Liv Morgan revenge tour.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, I want more of the revenge tour.
I do too. I want her to stay the champ for a minute.
I think if Rio beats Liv at SummerSlam, that Liv kind of disappears for a while. Like I want her to she's the she's the heel, right?
She
I
is.
want I want more Liv. I want more revenge tour. And I want so Liv winning uh at at SummerSlam really kind of um that fits the story better because now Rhea's like okay, okay, and then there's and that gives us more Liv Rhea like promos and because I think they're both really good at promos.
Yep.
Like what Liv is for the Liv character, Rhea Ripley is the is the Eradicator. She is
Yes.
mommy. She is mommy, and those two people work those characters so well that just to have her to come back at SummerSlams and win at SummerSlams kills what could be a rivalry that a documentary is made out of.
But
Like,
I think no matter who wins, whether it be Rhea or Liv, you can continue to have that story. It's like, oh, you didn't beat me 1-on-1. You pinned Becky. You didn't
yeah,
pin me. You didn't beat me. You beat Becky. So
yeah,
I think that can continue to play, and I think we see that kind of build up through, and maybe there's a crescendo at the Rumble.
hmm
Or maybe it's something to carry on to WrestleMania. But I think those two, when Mommy comes back, I think with those two, with Liv and Rhea, you're gonna it's gonna be the best thing the women's division has seen in a long time.
yep. And at some point, since Becky is involved, um, Valkyria is going to be involved at some point in time. They
Yeah,
just
she'll be in there somewhere because that's
like
just kind of what it
that's just
is.
kind of how the thing is, like when Damage Control was jumping in and
Yep.
taking, you know, jumping Becky, Valkyria jumped in. So I don't. I mean, maybe it's a fatal four way. Who knows? But I. The story is Liv and Rhea,
Yes.
and
Becky is the
maybe by
Bronson Reed of that match.
yeah, and that's why I say Liv wins with Dom interference.
Yep, and then
He doesn't screw it up this time. Or
but
maybe he does screw it up and Liv pins Rhea.
and then Rhea kicks him to the curb, and then so does Liv, and he's off on his own.
He's off on his own, and then we never hear from disgusting Dom again.
Bye, dum dum dum.
Bye. I'll throw some change by the underpass you're living under, so
And then we had that, and then I had LA Knight beating Logan Paul for the U.S. title.
for sure. I agree with that 100%. Like I
Yeah,
want LA. Yeah, I want LA Knight. Yeah, I want that dude to have gold around his waist. I think
I know you love him so much right now.
I do.
LA Knight to you is Jey Uso to me.
Yeah, he is just like I think I think that dude's champion. At, he's gonna start at the U.S. title because there's too much. There's the championship kind of storylines and stuff. It's really it's a cluster right now. I think maybe after SummerSlam, he starts focusing on that. You know what? Maybe he wins Money in the Bank.
No, I don't. I don't think. LA Knight doesn't win the Money in the Bank. I think he's set up to win the U.S. title.
Yeah.
And
But
I don't think he cashes in Money in the Bank for the U.S. title. Like, he's smarter than that.
no. I still think he can still win Money in the Bank, and he can still become the U.S. title and hold Money in the Bank without cashing in the Money in the Bank. He's not going to do that. I think the U.S. title, he knows that's going to happen without having to do Money in the Bank for anything like that. But he lost the Money in the Bank title match to Drew Priest, who cashed in on Drew. So maybe he wins Money in the Bank this time, and my previous thing is all garbage, and Damian Priest wins through, and he cashes in on Damian.
Maybe. And then you just blew up all of your other storylines.
Yeah. I would prefer that of all the storylines, other than the Otis storyline.
Welcome to Talking with the Notorious BOF.
Yeah, I would like that storyline more than Otis winning Money in the Bank. I think Otis is gonna win IC champion be the IC champion regardless. At some point in time, Money in the Bank or not. It'd be great if he would. I think it would be just such a great move if he would win Money in the Bank and cash in on the IC title. But I would prefer LA Knight win Money in the Bank and cash in on Damian.
Oh, so maybe I'm more right on Otis, like we initially thought?
No, you're still wrong.
Yeah, but I think we're set up for a pretty good 2 months worth of content. I'm excited to see what happens. There's from Backlash to now, some of the storylines that have been like, well, what's going to happen? Like, things are starting to get brought together, and we're starting to get more context and more things being fleshed out. So I think, Clash, I think, is going to be another decent event. And then I think between Clash, Money in the Bank, and then from Money in the Bank to SummerSlam, there's so much that can happen, and they're starting to develop those stories. I think we're in for a really good 2 months worth of content.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm excited to see what happens. I hope I'm right on everything. I doubt I'm going to be right on anything, because I'm not a writer for the WWE, but hey, if anybody listens to the show, we're available.
We are. Like, if you just want like some tidbits, and maybe a little bit of look here. If you want ideas from left field, we're your dudes.
Where nobody's going to see any of this coming. We got you.
Yeah. You guys like cameos? Look at WrestleMania.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where Rikishi. Why not Rikishi?
Why not Rikishi? Nobody's going to expect Rikishi to show up.
No. What is this?
Hey.
Shit. What if Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty just pop out? Both of them.
And you got the worm coming out.
Yeah. There's a worm off between Scotty 2 Hotty and Otis.
That would be some quality television right there.
Yep. Just for... And what is happening right now? What is that? It's a worm off, dude. It's a worm off. Get... You under a rock?
And I think right now is the perfect time to end the show before we go off for another half an hour on all kinds of random stuff.
Yeah, chef.
So those are our early SummerSlam predictions. If you can figure out what the hell we said in the last hour and a half,
cool.
Good on you. And
More
if this is your first time listening to Rollin Heavy, I hope you liked it. Expect more of the same. We call it the buffet because we start at one topic and then we go back and then we go back and then we go back. And then eventually we end up full and satisfied. So that's why we're at where we're at. So do you have any parting words of wisdom, BOF?
I haven't given any words of wisdom so far, so nope, I'm good.
All right. So thanks everybody for listening. As always, we live stream every Friday at 7:45 Pacific time, 10:45 Eastern time. If you have any topic ideas, comments on the show, anything you want us to talk about, please send them to rollinheavybjj@gmail.com. We'll be happy to acknowledge your content, give you a shout out over the air, and discuss what you've got for us. Besides that, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you in the buffet line.